they don't get a little reckless with that, right? Sometimes there is this possibility that the priest player mistimes that thing and ends up not being a really powerful combination of disruption that they're hoping for. So let's go into game number 1 and try that with the full mulligan. Immediately knows what's important, and Killing All Day just has to draw the cards. No illusion.
All right.
Yet.
Yep. Now we get to play the game of 6 Degrees of Mind Render Lucia. My favorite game. Every time this matchup, that's the only thing to play. How can we get to Mind Render Lucia faster? Draconic Studies. Looking for Brightwing. Nope, can't find Brightwing. Onyx Mage Scribe is the next closest.
Yeah, it can get you card draw, like Insight, to find Mind Render Lucia.
Yep. Pretty simple. You just need one spell and then another spell. So it's only 3 degrees for Mind Render Lucia. Not bad. Draconic Studies. Brightwing. Skeletal Dragon can get you a Brightwing. Can also get you an Onyx Mage Scribe, which can then get you a spell, which can then get you Mind Render Lucia.
Nice.
DreadEye is great at this game. So far, he's 2 for 2. And Killen's gonna play
Card drop.
draw cards. Yeah.
His gameplay is pretty straightforward. Il'gynoth comes to the hand. Opportunity to use Philosophy in position. Hero power right now. He would prefer to get things like Philosophy if he can find a way to combo. That does often require him to get the Skull of Gul'dan in the right spot as well.
Oh, and then none of
Scorpion finds Raise Dead. He's Onyx Mage Scribe can come out as soon as next turn. Wild. A lot of stats. Even without the spell burst, there's just a lot of stats for 4 mana, 4/9.
Okay. Oh, Dan.
Oh.
That's an insight.
That is an insight. The insight
That is
can
very Mind Render Lucia.
Lucia. Or you can draw an Onyx Mage Scribe, which can get an insight, which can then draw Mind Render Lucia.
So let's do a quick minion count here. So we had both Ogremancers in the opening hand, and a Venomous Scorpid. So that's 3 minions down. So he has 2 Sethics, Mind Render Lucia, 1 Venomous Scorpid, 1 Blade Master Samuro, 1 Zarella, 1 Onyx Mage Scribe, 1 Ysera. 8 minions left in the deck.
Okay. So 12.5%.
I grow impatient.
Rogue Glaives to clean this up. Very nice by Killen. It's not really nice as the situation is not really improving. He doesn't really have the card draw going. There are possibilities, by the way. As much as we're kind of talking and kind of a little bit memeing here about Lucia and how important she is, because she is very crucial. Oh, it's a minion drawn.
1 and 7.
1 and 7. So as much as we joke about that, there are times where the OTK Demon Hunter actually just stalls out and they're actually not able to draw a bunch of cards. Kind of like right now. Grandmasters number 2. Oh, it's annoying. Okay.
Not that big of a deal because it's never really going to be like enough pressure where he's going to be super worried about his life total. I mean, maybe eventually, right? But Killen's hoping to end the game before that. Problem for Killen right now is this turn is a little awkward. He could just attack and then equip Aldraki Warblades. Okay, and then next turn go double jump and hit Skull. He can just slam the Skull.
Magic is not a toy.
Here we go. Onyx Mage Scribe Insight. Insight draws a minion.
It's a Sethic.
No Weaver. Yeah, it's big. Spectral Sight. Does he want to use double jump first, though? He does. Time is of the essence.
the worst because Philosophy will add the minion to that side of his hand, and then he can't play it because then he can't play Spectral Sight for the Outcast. That's awkward.
So going back to what we were saying, sometimes the Demon Hunter just dies because it's not even drawing the right
I
cards.
grow impatient.
This isn't even really a Mindrender Lucia problem anymore, as much as it just there's 9 power, the Grandmaster isn't dying, and the situation is not improving. Yikes. Maybe we should have let off with that first. Before we can even get to the Mindrender Lucia stage, can Demon Hunter even assemble pieces of their combo to win? Kind of can. I mean, if you look at the quality of the hand, outside of one Fellscream Blast, I mean, we're pretty close to pieces of the combo that can win the game here. Wow. Full commitment from Killing All Day.
All right, so taking a look at this, I think with that, Killen has double Skull as his last 2 Outcast cards for this double jump. Problem is, this is one of those rare cases where he could die.
Yeah, and like it's getting worse. The Psyche split on this Grandmaster, reducing the power of the AoE. This is very good from DreadEye. Immolation Aura certainly helps.
Okay.
So Arcanist is +2. Immolation Aura still can't clear. Combined with the Moarg.
Combined with the Moarg, the first one will deal 6 and the second one will deal 3, so that is a clear.
Demons.
Or does it double up twice? I don't know. It's a clear either way.
I bet you can do this.
Not fun, but you gotta do it.
Yep.
The good news, Killen has plenty of damage still to kill off Priest.
But we're getting, because of all this stuff he's having to do, Mindrender Lucia is getting closer. That's a 3-minute card. All right, it's not a Mindrender. It is a palm reading, though.
Oh, Scorpion. Good insight. Honest May Scribe.
All right, which one's the most Lucia? Venomous Scorpion can always palm reading. Thrive in the Shadows. Draws a card,
Yes.
which gets closer to a Lucia. Could also draw an Insight. He plays 2. Renew. Huh. Gross. None of those are a Lucia.
Well, he can get Ray's dead, which can get him another Mage Scribe, which can get him a spell to draw a minion to get Mindrender Lucia. I'm getting good at this game.
All right, Dive in the Shadows, okay. All right, so double jump will pull a skull, and then DreadEye's running out of time to find a Lucia.
Here we go. Finally, Skull of Gul'dan appears.
Warlock.
Dark Studies, another skull. Chaos Strike. Ever so closer. He needs a Moarg. Still needs a Moarg. And a Fellscream Blast.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Extra sight. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Fellscream Blast. Still needs a
How much damage
Moarg.
does he have Next turn. If he finds Moarg.
Not enough.
That should be enough if he has Moarg.
Yeah. It is a... Oh, I mean, it's a 1 in 6. Ray's dead. Ain't it? It is not a Lucia. Plenty of ways to find it. Palm reading. Insight.
Insight into. Not many minions left.
There are...
He's gonna corrupt it.
Yep. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minions remaining left in the deck. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1 in 5.
Okay. So still not likely,
And he can't play it this turn either. So Killen still has another turn. Well, he could play it this turn, but he can't. He can't dump it. He can't dump Il'gynoth.
Apotheosis.
Yeah.
Play the insight or no?
No, I think you wait till
weighing on
next
DreadEye's
turn.
Right.
Yeah,
If you draw
because it could have. Yeah, because he'd fill up his hand too with no way to dump it. So, like, he could draw a card and then burn a Lucia. So we're looking for more. No, but is that enough?
So Talented Arcanist makes Fell Screen Blast +3 across, so it's 9. Chaos Strike, so that's 4. Oh, the taunt in a way is actually a big deal. We weren't talking about that either. The fact that the Risen Skeleton gets in the way of the auto. But I think with the Il'gynoth, well, Divine Shield also being a relevant thing. But he's got it. Oh, the 2 Aug Merchants as well.
Yeah, the 2 Aug Merchants. Yeah, so that's 15 from the Fellscreen Blast. He gets to attack for the additional 8 and then end with Fellscreen Blast. As long as he sequences it with Talented Arcanist and then Fellscreen Blast. He did it!
He's got
None of those cards were a Lucia.
Oh, DreadEye not able to find it, and as a result, only drawing 15 cards in his deck, whiffing on the Mindrender Lucia. A huge checkpoint cleared for killinallday. He really needed his OTK Demon deck to get past the Priest, to try and challenge the rest of the lineup. And you talked about how DreadEye does not have good counters to OTK Demon Hunter beyond that. I mean, maybe the patch is just opened for a 3-0.
Yeah, and DreadEye built his lineup, or built his Priest deck to be as good against OTK Demon Hunter as possible. Obviously, it has some splash matchups elsewhere because of the way he's built it, but he plays double Insight and double Ogremancer, which is about as anti OTK Demon Hunter as you can get with Priest, right? Without going like super crazy with tech cards and tutor effects to try and find Mindrender Lucia as fast as possible. Still wasn't able to find it, despite all that, despite getting through over half his deck. And a full mulligan. And that's big. Now, DreadEye's got to turn to Secret Libra Paladin, which, you know, it can beat OTK Demon Hunter, right? It's got some paths to pressure, but it's not like Aggro Paladin, where, you know, you stick a minion on the board and then, you know, bada bing, bada boom, all of a sudden your opponent's dead. It doesn't have, like, that insane follow-up. It can get onto the board pretty quickly, though, with First Day of School, with Sword of the Fallen, Northwatch Commander, things like that. But then usually it takes some time before it ramps up big enough minions. And that's what OTK Demon Hunter loves. They love time. They just want to draw their deck. That's it. That's all they want to do. And then kill you in a single turn. And the Warrior deck needs to be saved for the potential to counter Mage and Rogue, right? To have that as an ability. So he's got to win an unfavorable at some point. It's just, is it right now? Again, the first match was, I think, the most important, or the first game was the most important, but now this one has become the most important with the first game out of the way. So.
All right, we'll see. Killen's faded one matchup that he needed to get past. Can he go through another one and potentially get what he needs to unlock that 3-0? DreadEye starts off with Sword of the Fallen. Already a very good start. With the rest of his hand, they're okay, but you probably want to start ramping up the other stuff. Things that discount the Librams make sense. First Day of School is also not bad at all. Finds meh stuff, Hellbore, Prize Plunderer, Gibberling.
You're paying for my discretion.
You can see that Killen already starting off by playing things for tempo to get this extra damage going. Also to challenge potential 2-drops here from DreadEye. Knight of Anointment into the Prize Plunderer. Nice little way for DreadEye to capitalize onto cards that he doesn't normally have in his deck. stop Killen's ability to develop behind that Aug Merchant.
This is a awkwardly set up hand for Killen, though. Il'gynoth on the far left is... I mean, just Il'gynoth in the hand in general is tough. It does mean that, like, at any point, if he picks up a skull, the only way to outcast it is from the far right. Because Il'gynoth is the one undumpable card.
Yeah, that being said, Killen has the Illidari studies. There's a chance for him to hit the Skull of Gul'dan on 6, and then be able to play it. Looking forward to that. Hellbore coming down for Killen, trying to find what he can do against the secrets.
Oh, it's...
Demons? Demons.
Why isn't Gibberling a beast? Weird.
Yeah, otherwise the Hellbore could buff it.
Yeah.
It'd probably be because it'd be too strong if it started having beast tribes, and you can start putting it in a bunch of other like hunter decks and stuff, right?
Yeah, you could pull it from guardian animals.
True. That would make it completely overpowered. I'm not entirely sure. No one even knows what a Gibberling really is anyways. Is it like a little wolf, bear, fox?
Well, all
thing?
those things are beasts, so no, none of the above.
Yeah, but when you like fuse them all together, it's like kind of, but not really. Because aren't Quillboars like pigs? And aren't they kind of beasts too? Pigs are beasts.
No, but they're a cross between a pig and a
I cannot wait.
humanoid. They walk upright.
Ah, fair enough.
Come on,
Dylan
Dan.
finds a philosophy. Sorry, I'm clearly slacking here. Oh, that's right. Oh my Yogg converts the coin into Lightning Bloom. Gets an additional mana crystal. Up to 6. He could Illidari Studies here and look for an opportunity to get a Skull of Gul'dan. Right?
It's taking some pressure, but there's not much follow-up in DreadEye's hand. Not that Killen knows that, but Killen's going to be kind of afraid of that in the long run. I don't think the board is super pressing to be removed here, but one thing to note is Killen is only going to be going into a 3-mana turn. So maybe he does feel like he's got a remove here. This will get Galloping Savior out and be a full clear with the Galloping Savior, so...
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Diffusing each secret, playing around it. The 3/4 gets summoned. Kill it off. Really well done here by killinallday. And now the aggression from DreadEye has to reset.
Ooh, a whole turn to equip a 1/4 weapon.
Wow. That's the most expensive Lights Justice you'll ever see. Spectre Sight off the top.
He just needed something to spend his mana. Picks up more Outcast cards, or, well, another Outcast card with Philosophy. Can get the Moarg right now and beef it up. Paladin doesn't have any damaging spells, so even just playing Moargs at some point in this game, if you know you don't need the extra, can sometimes be enough to let you fight for the board a little bit. Looking at the remaining Outcast cards for Killen in the deck, he still has both of his I-Beams, both of his Skulls, and 1 Spectral Sight, so still a lot. There's no way for him to kind of guarantee it.
Ooh, some spicy stuff. Ends up choosing the Gunnar Gladiator to just have a way to push damage potentially here. I think the hand, or rather his hand wants to be more flexible with some of his options to be able to put out a bunch of damage. Picking up damage, 15 in the form of Libram Judgment. That's gonna hurt. Boom. Double finds the Spectral Sight.
I see.
Finds a skull for later on, but for now we're gonna play the Raging Fell Screamer, it seems like. so that way he can discount his next demon. But more importantly, can DreadEye find a way to stop the combo that's inevitably going to come in the next couple of turns here?
Oof.
I don't even know if Lady Legendary has a single card to give back to DreadEye.
Let me think. Reporting for duty.
Yikes.
No?
This is
you're right.
bad. This is real bad.
Kale just has all day.
Hey.
That was actually completely unintentional.
Shut up. Yeah, shut up.
Still a bit awkward though. He still has like no Fell Screen Blast or I-Beam. That'll help.
More Spectral Sight.
Yep.
All right. This is starting to get way out of control. At this point, Killen can just get the job done even without DreadEye.
Yeah, this is lethal setup next turn, I think. It'll be +3 spell power on the Spell Screen Blast doubled. 24? Actually, no, it's not quite lethal.
Yeah, that heal was a big deal. It's a very big deal, in fact. This is still threatening. Oh, a second Full Screen Blast?
So he can't fit in everything that he wants to here. If he goes double Fell Screen Blast, it'll just be 0 spell damage on the first one, so it'll just be doubled up. So it'd be 6. It can actually only target it on the opposing minion, so it'd only be 4. But he would be able to take off the Divine Shield to hit. So that'd be 4. Then the second one would be +2 spell damage, doubled. So it'd be 12. So that's 16, and then a weapon swing for 2. Still not
What
enough.
if the weapon swing disables the Divine Shield?
Then he won't be able to get through it though. Oh wait.
Okay,
I mean,
then
he
you
could
get the full effect of the Fell Screen Blast, the 2 Fell Screen Blasts.
But he is the 2 Fell Screen Blasts. He's not getting the plus spell damage. I think he's got a clear here.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure this is lethal, TJ.
No, because the Talented Arcanist.
No, you're right. He's the mana's not there. No, you're right.
The mana's not there, and the spell damage
So
would be there if
close.
he wanted to use double Fell Scream, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's super close. That was a tough spot. Because it feels like you can, right? But the small little things like just either the mana or the Divine Shield or all these different things just getting in the way. And as a result, Killen ends up having to dump a lot of his hand, but the problem still hasn't finished for DreadEye, right? Like, he's faded out just a little bit of the combo damage. Killen can just pick up right where he left off. Oh my goodness gracious.
So he does have one Moarg left in the deck, which is the biggest hit. I-Beam as well could be a big hit too, because he could keep it not outcasted. Andraki Warblades, Throglaive, and okay, I-Beam. Well, it's an awkward spot for it.
He just set up.
Yeah, so next turn he'll have a free I-Beam. So it'll be Il'gynoth Moarg, free I-Beam, which would just be doubled up, so that'd be 6. And then Talented Arcanist, which would be +2 spell damage. For 3, doubled up 6, 18, 24. And then, yeah, that's enough. So he does have it now.
Yes. So he should have that all ready to go, and DreadEye can't really do much. This is definitely one of the criticisms against the Paladins. It's just that while you build up strong boards, it's just not enough pressure. Second I-Beam. Cool. Cool. All right. Killing All Day has the Il'gynoth. Moarg.
The emote.
The eye beams. That's just going to be way too much damage. Arcanist and the Fell Scream Blast to also put punctuation mark. Well done.
I bet you can do this.
And 2-0 lead for Killen. Very quick. I mean, even this is just complete overkill. Minus 18. DreadEye now down to his final deck to try and take down the OTK Demon Hunter. You want to say that very quietly, DreadEye has been one of the more consistent players in Grandmasters, by the way. As much as we see him feels like losing the top 8, he's getting to the top 8 very often and has racked up 10 points. So even if this is as far as he goes, overall it's been a great season for him. Taking a look at this really important turn from Killen. A lot of times as a Demon Hunter, you have to weigh on a knife's edge whether or not you can survive another wave of damage, or you're going to go for a board clear and try to stop the amount of aggression coming out from your opponents. This is a really good recognition from Killen. And this turn, we thought maybe there's a chance, but after TJ counting very meticulously, thank you for that, it just was barely not enough. And you can see that Killen dumps a huge portion of his combo pieces and yet still had overkill by a huge margin. That's just what the OTK Demon Hunter deck excels at. Part ways with pieces. You just need one Moarg, the Il'gynoth, and a couple of spells, and you still can really get there as long as you have a little bit of spell damage to boost it. But with that, it's just Warrior versus the Demon Hunter. And the Control Warrior, I mean, you can actually interact with the deck in a couple of meaningful ways, which is pretty cute. One of them happens to be a feature card here, the Bulwark of Azzinoth. That card has surprisingly been a thorn in my side whenever I queue up into a Control Warrior that has that, and it can be quite problematic to stop some of that burst damage if you can time it correctly. But, I am curious to see if DreadEye can figure out any other lines of play, because it's not super feasible to try to just survive. Like in the past, Control Warrior, the way it used to deal with combo decks was to armor up out of range. Can you really do that against an OTK Demon Hunter, TJ?
Nope. You cannot. Unless you're pressuring simultaneously, which is where this deck lacks, right? The Control Warrior has a lot of armor gain, has Bulwark of Azzinoth to be able to block the combo for a couple turns. But if you're not pressuring the Demon Hunter during that time, they have a free way every turn with their hero power to get rid of charges of the Bulwark of Azzinoth, and you just don't have enough pressure, like staying power at all, to actually put them under threat so that Bulwark of Azzinoth will set you up for a few turn lethal, right? DreadEye does have, maybe a little bit more pressure-oriented things. Obviously, Magtheridon, if it comes down early and you can clear it at 12-12, is incredibly difficult for OTK Demon Hunter to kill. Sometimes War Cache can get you some big things, but DreadEye actually only plays Bulwark of Azzinoth as a weapon and Sword Eater. So there's no Outrider's Axe that you can come down and get 3 or 4 charges with Corsair Cache and just 12 damage over the course of turns and just keep pressuring. And so he's going to be reliant on not only getting his armor total up and drawing Bulwark of Azzinoth, which he will off this Corsair Cache, but also trying to find some type of pressure plan to back all that up. It's very difficult. You have to do a lot of things at once, and in the meantime, OTK Demon Hunter is drawing their deck incredibly quickly. Okay, none of those are spectacular.
Yeah. Swordboard gives armor, I guess. Not great. Yep. Not great at all.
Another War Cache. Start smacking him for 1.
Oh, Sword Eater can start smacking him for 3. Sounds a lot better.
Yep.
You have all these weapon charges.
Might as well.
I will say, so last week in preparation for the event, I played a ton of Control Warrior. And I did match up against a couple of Demon Hunters. There was one game I was able to out armor the amount of damage, but that was because I ended up applying a lot of pressure where they had to dump their Moarg, right? They couldn't go for like a triple Moarg or a quadra Moarg type situation with like Skull Guldans. And so they only could deal like 48 damage, and I was at like 55 health. And then it went into like a fatigue state where they couldn't do anything else. So there is that possibility, but that does require DreadEye to mount up, reasonable aggression. And he does have Sword Eater into Shield Maiden and potentially a second War Cache to help, accelerate that. And Cruel Taskmaster adds a little bit of extra pressure. So I think there might be something that DreadEye could at least try to do here, at least, give it his best shot. We'll see.
You're paying for my discretion.
Interesting. So just playing the Og Merchant and then passing over. Any thoughts on this, TJ?
Well, he's just trying to get cards out of his hand, right? The second that their Og Merchant is a lot of time overkill, you don't have the mana to be able to use it a lot of times. And he knows that with Ildar Studies him with double jump in hand that he needs to empty cards. So I'm a fan of it just because I don't feel like there's really anything else that he can do for the time being.
Ildar Studies into I-Beam is definitely something that caught my eye. I think the Crimson Sigil Runner also had merit to it, considering that he wants to draw cards. But yeah, this is the plan that we talked about, right? Where DreadEye is trying to find a way to be aggressive as much as he can.
We hunger for vengeance.
Might find an opportunity to play Rancor next turn as well. I don't know. Again, I think that might be a little bit too slow, just because gaining 4 armor for 4 mana doesn't sound great.
No, it does not.
I can take the hit.
Still able to keep this pressure rolling, though. This is not a terrible situation for DreadEye.
Oh,
Skill off the top. Does have to dump coin in order to be able to play this without overdrawing a card, which is... Oh, no. Oh, no, I had to play my coin in order to get my full skull value.
Alas, poor warlock.
Yeah, I-Beam, Ildar Studies, Immolation Aura. So I-Beam, the only, I guess combo piece, but at the end of the day, is it really a combo piece? Sometimes it can be. In this matchup, you're really looking for any of the, like, Talented Arcanist. Moarg is the best because if it's discounted from Skull, Philosophy will also copy that discount. And Il'gynoth, just so you can fit more into a turn, because sometimes you do need to hit those higher breakpoints.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Can push the 1.
Time grows short.
Little by little, just grinding away at the warrior's armor count, the life total.
Second bulwark could be huge. Nope. Spiked wheel.
Armor vendor comes in the hand. Spiked wheel, yeah. That's reasonable.
Armor! Lightly used armor.
Are we on the armor plan? I think we might be on the armor plan, DJ. Armor plan plus bulwark. Start off with some kind of like Illidar starts a double jump here if killinallday wants. There's still Philosophy and Spectral Sights in his deck. Double jump is not really a clean guarantee. Plus, he does have hand space issues for Skull Gul'dan. I'm thinking Illidar Studies just a little bit better. Ooh. Spectral Sight.
Okay. Very good. There's Il'gynoth, but still a ways off. And without discounted combo pieces, we could start looking at tough scenario here.
Discount starting here At least the next Moarg will be 2 mana cheaper. DreadEye finds another Shield Maiden. All right.
And he's got to start thinking about what's the timing for his Bulwark, right? The one thing he's seen all of the discounted cards from Skull Gul'dan, and turn 8 kill with this much armor is not possible without any discounts. So I don't think he needs to play it now. If that's the case, might as well play the Ringmaster Baton. Start buffing that Sword Eater.
Sure.
The blade fist has no master.
Oh, he wants to get the Kargoth going as soon as possible. I mean, stage dive for the Kargoth Prime is usually what people like most about that, but I mean, he's just trying as much as he can to set himself up for success, and the sooner that's shuffled in, the better. Killen has the second Moarg in hand. Not enough right now.
Demons. Demons.
Spectrosight needs to make hand space first. Can equip the Adraki Warblades.
And would need to find a dumpable card.
See.
Immolation Aura.
Yes. That is big.
I have more to give.
Start chipping away.
Yeah, let's start thinking about how much damage killinallday might have here with the Moarg and the Il'gynoth. So, with those 3, the Il'gynoth and Moarg, it's important to note that only the first one is discounted, as DreadEye looks for a potential spell. Barricade, the only thing that caught his eye there.
Yeah, with a Fellscream Plus picked up off the top, be Il'gynoth, double Moarg, Talented Arcanist, and a Fellscream Blast. So it'd be +3 spell damage, doubled once to 6, doubled twice to 12, 36, plus an extra 2 from the weapon because there's a taunt in the way, so it'd be 38. DreadEye's at 39.
39, and does he have ways to squeeze out anything else with this Throatglaive? I don't think so.
Still doesn't have Fellscream Blast. That's the biggest thing right here.
Grow impatient.
Good point. Chaos Strike. There is the Fellscream Blast, a little bit off. I guess the good news is that Killen still could clear off a good portion of this board with the Throatglaive and re-equip another Adraki Warblades. One of the first things that caught my eye.
Demons. Demons.
I think in his mind, with DreadEye like holding on to a weapon from Corsair Cache for this long, I think he's anticipating a Bulwark of Azzinoth, which can start to get kind of dicey, right? With like how often you're poking. Top minions are at a premium, which is why Barricade makes a lot of sense from DreadEye, by the way. Something we didn't really call out there. Potentially a huge impactful thing. So if you're DreadEye, 5 cards remaining. This feels like the Bulwark opportunity.
It's got to be.
Also down to Rancor, my own Scorpion.
Yeah, that thing's not doing anything right now. Because Kill needs a lot of turns with this Bulwark. It does have 5 charges. So, Fellscream Blast being this far in the deck has been awkward, to say the least. With 10 mana, the I-Beam will move to outcast position. You'd have to spend...
Worthy or unworthy?
So you can play Il'gynoth, 1 Moarg, Talented Arcanist, Ethereal Aug Merchant, I-Beam. That's a... Actually, no. He would have to play Talented Arcanist first, then Fellscream Blast. So he can only fit in 1 Moarg. If he 2 Moargs, then he can't fit in the I-Beam. Oh, he's going to make the 12-12. Oh, this is smart. And he can equip the Bulwark. Putting on the pressure.
I like that. Oh, he's not equipping it. Killen's like, oh, okay. There's still a chance that I just win here?
Wait.
Fell Screen Blast?
Okay, so with 1 Moarg and +1 spell damage, the I-Beam would deal 8. And then the Fell Screen Blast would be, and then Talented Arcanist Fell Screen Blast, so it would be +3 spell damage. Double 1, so 8, that's 24. So that's 32 plus a weapon swing is 36. But with Moarg,
Fell Screen Blast?
Everyone!
Oh, the second Moarg.
the second Moarg Talented Arcanist, that's 48.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 48.
Gosh, that's just so much damage. That is absolutely obnoxious amounts of combo damage. And DreadEye ends up dying with the Bulwark in hand. It's a tough situation. It's a tough matchup. You have to try and time it perfectly, and just a little bit too slow. But would it have changed enough is the question.
I think so.
Killing All Day gets a 3-0 victory. I personally thought it was time for the Bulwark, just because you know that your opponent wants to get that going. But, I mean, that's because we could see both hands, TJ, and, it's so much easier for us to be in that spot.
Killen had 3 cards left in his deck.
I think, was it 3? I thought it was 5. Either way, it's still not a lot of cards, and I was leaning towards the Bulwark.
It was 4. Yeah, it was 4. Because this was the turn previous to the turn that he ended up killing him.
Right.
So, yeah, 4 cards. He has to have whiffed on so many things that have to be in the bottom 4 of the deck in order to get there. He's got a 12-12 on board. That's clocking 2-turn lethal. Bulwark of Aznath would have at least... And Killen is even questioning himself because he knows Bulwark of Aznath is in the hand. He played Corsair Cash. The only weapon he plays in his deck is Bulwark of Aznath, so he knows that it's there. And DreadEye